Okay, hi there.
Hi.
A little bit about yourself, your name, and your background, if you would.
My name is Joana Meneses. I am a Stop Pilates master trainer, and I have been teaching Pilates for the last 15 years. I opened my own little fitness studio called Body Roots about 3 years ago, and I absolutely am living the dream.
Okay, how about you talk a little bit about your Pilates background and kettlebells and how that all sort of came together?
Okay, my Pilates background. I actually was in New York City, and Pilates was starting to really get a lot of popularity, and that was back in 1998. And I took one Pilates class and completely fell in love with it. I was, like most people, the believer of no pain, no gain when it came to exercise. And suddenly, walking out of one Pilates class, I felt taller, longer, like I could breathe better in the smog of New York City. Who knew? And I researched it and came across an amazing Pilates school and decided to just dive right in. So within a couple of years, I started traveling the world teaching Pilates courses, and life has been good. 6 years into Pilates, I was still kind of all Pilates all the time, and I met someone named David at a fitness conference, and I used to always walk around the booths and see what was new and the latest thing in fitness, and I came across kettlebells. I had never seen these things before, and they looked heavy. So David was very personable and asked me if I had a few minutes for him to give me a demo. At the time, nothing against David's teaching, of course, but at the time I thought, my goodness, knowing what I did about alignment, I thought any person that would go into a gym and pick up one of these instruments is going to kill themselves. So I walked away and didn't really think much of kettlebells after that. A few years later, I started working out with a very good friend of mine who is a Polish gentleman and had been doing kettlebells probably since he was out of the womb. So he taught me how to actually use the bell, and I realized how much I loved it. And it was a perfect complement to Pilates, because Pilates gives you your biomechanical principles, alignment. Not one movement in Pilates is wasted, and that's what I loved about Pilates. I felt longer and stretched. It was almost like I was giving myself a massage while I was working out. So deep, so intricate. With kettlebells, I got to balance all of that with some power and strength. Within 20 minutes of a properly executed kettlebell workout, you've got your cardio and your strength. Boom, gone. My body started to change, and everything that I love, I try and bring to my clients. So slowly I started to introduce kettlebells and really just making people realize that although it looks very scary and no one should just go up and pick up a kettlebell, like I wouldn't get on a piece of equipment like a Pilates reformer and think I knew what I was doing. A kettlebell is the exact same thing. It's a skill. You learn it. Just like Pilates, it's like learning to exercise all over again. Your brain feels like it's sweating before your body ever will. And that's, I think, what is so important about learning to control your mind and your body, putting the two together, and the complement of mind and body and power and strength was perfect. So I fell in love with kettlebells, contacted Dave and said, hey, remember me? Guess what? I get it now, and learned the skill. And now I just love to share it with my clients, and they're getting as much of the benefit out of the kettlebells and the Pilates as I am.
How did they respond to the kettlebells when you first started?
At first, they were a little bit freaked out about it, but I started them off really slowly, just to get them to really understand how it is their body first before it is the actual bell. And what people don't understand is that the swing, especially a basic kettlebell exercise, they think like we normally do if we go to the gym and you're doing an exercise that requires any lifting. They normally think of the arms bringing up the weight, but it's complete different. That's why it's a skill. You learn it. You learn that it's all about the lower body and the legs and the extending of the hips. And with that Pilates awareness, you know how to support your lower back and lower spine with the abdominals and with the hip extensors. So boom, you're good. You're solid.
Did you have trouble with the idea of, quote, explosive training, since Pilates, unless you're doing the jumping board, doesn't necessarily do anything with explosive training.
Yeah,
like
and the
elliptical
jumping
thing,
board
right?
is a great piece of equipment, but you're laying down on your back.
Right.
When do we ever jump on our backs? We don't do that. I love the jump board and the cardio tramp because it allows people to really understand how to decelerate without all that weight. But you need both. I'm not a type of person that believes in one thing is going to start all and end all. I believe that you should cross-train, you should do a lot of different things. But I, over the years, have realized that you don't just need that intricate strength. Why do we need that intricate strength? So we can live our lives, and so we can jump over puddles, and so we can lift our grandchildren, and so we can be in the most efficient posture for breath, for sleep, for whatever it is, just to live the best life that you can.
Cool. Now let's talk business a little bit. Are you
Business?
Doing business, you know
What
that.
is that?
You said you were doing small groups in here, right?
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about that a little bit.
So small groups. So I am doing Pilates mat groups.
Okay.
I do small Pilates mat groups. I do, what else do I do?
Any kettlebell work in there? With the small
Not
groups?
yet. I need to
Okay.
get some new bells.
Okay.
But absolutely, there will be a kettlebell class. Starting off slowly, but yes.
Right.
And the groups that I have, I do a willpower and grace, which is the cardio barefoot training. I've been doing that for years as well. Really teaches people how to move in bare feet, which I think is very important.
Right.
And Forza, so the sword fighting class is just recently started this week. And this is a couple tight groups that I've had and I've known for years. So they're very open to different things that I absolutely love to do for myself. So it's easy to introduce it to them because they trust me and I adore them for that.
What would you say, last question, to Pilates instructors who might be a little on the fence about kettlebell or suspension training for the sake of argument? You know, what would you tell them?
I would say, how's my posture?
It hasn't ruined it, right?
I would say that I was in the exact same boat.
Okay.
I take a look at TRX, and I remember it was the exact same thing when I walked up to that booth in the conference at New York ECA years ago. Seeing people with their feet in their straps and the whole back completely collapse, I was like, whoa, people are gonna kill themselves. But as a Pilates instructor, you more than anyone know how to line someone up. You know how to cue them so they're completely in line, supported. So there's no reason why you can't use a toy like a TRX or like a kettlebell and give them a stronger, more powerful workout. Not meaning speed-wise, everything needs to start slow, but that is the next step, I think. That really is the next step. The Pilates exercises, the advanced exercises, are absolutely brilliant on the machine. How many clients do you have that can actually do them though? Whereas with the kettlebell and the TRX, there's basic, there's more intermediate, and there's more advanced, and it's just a little bit easier in a group setting, especially because you can do more. You don't have, 20 reformers or 10 reformers where you can have like 10 or 15 advanced people on the machines.
Right. How quickly did your clients take to the kettlebell? You know?
Some of them, I'm not gonna lie.
Right.
Some of them absolutely love it as much as I do, and some of them don't like it. And why don't they like it? Because it's hard. Well, guess what? It's supposed to be hard. But like anything, it is a business. So if your client comes in and they're dreading what you're gonna do with them, you're not going to do it.
Right.
I have the luxury of having a full-on Pilates studio in my space. I have a TRX that hangs. I have the new cross core that David brought me today.
Yay!
So exciting! I have a kettlebell, a smaller kettlebell that teaches people how to really use it. And I'm very excited about getting some heavier ones because that's what it's about, going a little heavier. But I'm going to give my clients what they want. I'm absolutely going to challenge them, yes, and they're not going to like every single exercise that I do, but it all fits into their program. What is it that this person wants? What is it that this person is paying you for? And how is it that you can progress them beyond where they already are?
Cool. I think that'll do it.
All right.
Yeah. Anything you want to add or anything I might have forgotten?
I just want to say thank you so much. This was fun.
Absolutely. Thanks, Joanna.
Thank you.